I don't know what to say, guys. I come to you a shamed man. I am not proud of my actions. If you watch the podcast, I told you about buying all of this new stuff. And here I am, the MMA barber hypocrite with new stuff in 2020. I'm at a loss for words. But let's unbox this clipper. Check out some of the details on the back. Metal lithium ion outline trimmer, graphite Deep 2.0 blade, T-blade, 360 explodes just like the Gold FX, high torque brushless motor. Who cares about the Ferrari design? It has nothing to do with anything. 7,200 RPM, as you see right there. All metal housing, obviously lithium ion battery, 2-hour runtime. If you've seen the Gold FX, I can't imagine that this would be any different. So as I open this thing up, oh God, it's tricky. All right. So you have the Silver FX. As you see, a graphite 2.0 blade. Not quite sure what that really means in the overall scheme. Whatever. Let's see what's underneath here. There we go. All right. Babyliss stuff, which obviously I don't care about. Let's see what's in this box, because this is probably important. Let's see. All right. So we got a nice heavy-duty power cable. Looks kind of familiar. Actually, I think this is like the Andis cordless MVLI charger cable. If you look at this, actually I have one right here. Which one is it? This one right here. If you look at this, this actually looks just like the MV power cable. So as you see, you could probably use the MV power cable. I'm actually gonna do that. Obviously, this is the Babyliss cable right here. We're not gonna use that. Let's just use the MV cable. Let's see. Because I'm pretty sure you have to charge these up before you turn them on, or that's what they recommend. So as you see, boom, blue light's flashing and it's charging. So if you have cordless MVLIs, you can use the MV power cable instead of using the Babyliss one. Now, of course, if you look at the MV power cable, it's very thin and flimsy compared to the Babyliss power cable, which is nice, heavy duty and sturdy, but that's all your preference. What else do we get? Let's open this thing up right here. So we get one of these things, a little screwdriver. I have one of those. Got a little guard for the blade, brush. Don't care about that. We do care about this, the zero gap tool. And of course, oil, which, come on. And that's what's inside. Let's get to playing with this thing. Apparently you're able to zero gap this thing pretty easy with this tool, which is kind of cool compared to other tools, which you have to use all different types of methods, whether it's a 10-second blade setter, you buy the one from Andis, you use a mirror, you use the flat surface, you use a book, whatever the case may be, but they give you this, pop this out, and they give you this little screwdriver hex thingy, and it's that easy. So let's find out. If you can see here from the factory, this thing comes pretty close. But as barbers, we've got to get it even closer. So let's see what we can do. I like the black blade though. It's kind of nice. Now we're gonna see how intuitive this thing really is and how easy it is. Like, I've seen people do it, but I don't really remember in depth. I assume this little piece here goes in the back of this, and I'll just slide this up. Yep, I'm gonna loosen these two screws here. So let me loosen them, because it's pretty close, I'm not gonna lie. It's actually kind of the way I like it, but you know what? I'm gonna bump them up a little bit. Let's see how this little zero gap tool works. Yeah, you just push it up. Yeah, I can feel it bumping up. So let's see. All right, now that I have them set where I want them, I'm gonna tighten these screws here. Seems like that's all you have to do. Now, I'm gonna let you know, I've adjusted these pretty tight. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty aggressive, even for my liking. But we're gonna see how they operate. I don't like, there's one thing I don't like about this. I'm here at an angle to tighten this, which isn't a great way to apply much force. If you see on this side, I'm really straight on, dead on to screw this in. But on this side, see, I'm like out on an angle like that, and it's not the greatest for applying torque, and you could possibly strip that too. But I'm gonna let these charge, and then we're gonna see how these things hit. While these things charge, as you see, my lineup is stacked full of cordless stuff, right? But there's this one Lone Ranger, that one lone cord just hanging out. I couldn't get rid of him. My T outliner, I've loved this machine, but people rant and rave about this machine. So I was at the beauty supply. I was actually picking up some aftershave and some Marvicide. Got to keep the public safe. And then I asked the guy, let me just look at these. And as I look at them, he takes them out of the box like a good salesman is. He puts them in my hand just like a good salesman would. And I'm like, I break down and I buy the damn thing. So with this, be able to get rid of this, free me of this. That's the ultimate test to see how good these really are. Because look, I've done the Slimline Pro Li mod. This has a deep toothed blade and it's modified, but I still find myself going back to this trimmer right here. I still find myself going back to the T outliner. I also have a regular Slimline Pro Li, and this one is obviously a deep tooth and it's modified as well. And these hit really good, but I always find myself going back to this corded trimmer. Let's see if this thing can be the hero and free me of the cord. Now, if you want to know why Babyliss came out with this one, why is this a 2.0 graphite blade? Why is this better than the gold one? I'm not the guy to answer those questions. Ask Chris Bazio. But I figure, hey, they came out with this one. I'm gonna hope, for my sake, that is better than the original, because if you do come out with something shortly after you come out with an original, I would hope that this one is better. Now, obviously, I don't have the other one to compare. I have used it slightly. I haven't used it enough to really offer a very good comparison between the two. So, sorry guys. This is the ultimate test with this trimmer, is to see if you can get rid of your corded trimmer. All right, let's turn this thing on. It's not fully charged, but who cares? Let's turn it on and see how it sounds. Okay. Okay, it's not oiled or anything. Let's put a little drop. Let's see if it gets quiet. Okay, I can hear it speed up a little bit. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that on the camera. Okay, not bad, Nicholas. Not bad. It's been a few weeks since I've had this trimmer, and I must make this little slight confession. What you're watching now, I've shot this 3 times. This is my 3rd time shooting this, and I'm actually quite grateful this is my 3rd time shooting this portion, because I have more news than I did in the 1st and 2nd to bring to you now. And it's kind of weird because the first 2 I shot, the first one was really good things to say about it. Then the second one was inserted with a little bit of bad stuff, and now I have even more bad stuff about this trimmer. Still a great trimmer, but let's get into those things. Thing number 1 that I do not like about this trimmer is the on and off switch. So as you see here, you turn it on, there's that slight delay. Now, I'm not gonna complain about the delay at all, because it's not like I'm gonna turn it on and be like, ooh, I need to put it on. Ooh, like, no one's realistically needing the trimmer to be on right when they turn it on. But my issue with the switch is, I have noticed when I've turned this on, it doesn't turn on. Now, I'm so used to the T outliners. I'm ingrained in that T outliner culture where you got to turn it off if you're not using it, because of course the blade is going to heat up, the body's going to heat up. You don't want that to happen. So a lot of times when I'm using this trimmer, which I'll tell you guys, it doesn't get hot, so don't worry about that. But the switch, I would turn it off and turn it on, and sometimes I would turn it on and it wouldn't turn on. So you might be wondering, why am I clicking this on and off like this? Because I'm trying to replicate this to see if I can have it come across on camera, which of course, this trimmer is gonna try and make a liar out of me and not do it while I'm actually filming. But I kid you not, less than 30 minutes ago, I was just cutting someone's hair. It did it to me then. And from the first time I noticed it, I thought it was just like a little glitch in the matrix, but then it happened again and again and again and again. And I'm not sure what that is. If anyone has had this problem, drop it in the comments below. I'm kind of curious to know why this is even happening. It's kind of weird. And I know this thing comes with a warranty. Look, I don't really put too much faith in warranties, because really, like, how good is the warranty, right? And then if someone has a really good warranty, let's say like Wall, then it kind of makes me suspicious, because I'm like, hey, how good is the product if you really need to have such a strong warranty? I'd rather have a good product than have a good warranty and have to send this thing off so much. But that's one thing that I don't like, the on and off switch. Another thing that I do not like about this trimmer, and this one thing I've heard from other people, they say, oh, it removes bulk really well. It gets pretty close like a razor almost, blah, blah, blah. Yes, it's true that this gets pretty close. But in my opinion, with these, who knows, maybe the Gold FXs are different. These do not bald out very well. I've tried this on many different hair types. I've tried it on Asian, black, white, Hispanic, everybody. And the results have varied with each client. Now, if you're talking about like some thick, coarse hair, I would not put my money behind this to remove bulk. Now, this is exactly why I have a 5-0 blade detachment on my detachable blade clipper to remove bulk. This is gonna mow down hair. I have not had a single issue with removing bulk on any type of hair, no matter how thin or thick it is, using the 5-0 detachment, or really just using the detachable with the 000 all the way down to the outliner blade. No problems there whatsoever. But with this one, I have had some problems. Even with some thin hair, it doesn't remove hair the greatest. Now, yes, it does get down pretty close. I have not had issues like some people have had with the Gold FX as far as pulling the skin. It is glide pretty well, but it does not remove bulk. But look, guys, I'm just trying to tell you, I don't recommend you remove bulk with your trimmers because it's for trimming and edging. And really, that is what I look for in an edger, is how well does it edge, not how well it balds out. Another slight thing that I do not like about this one is the sound. Kind of loud. Even, look, this is after a few weeks of use. You heard the way it sounded when I first unboxed it and opened it. Pretty much the same sound. Yes, I have dropped these. If you watch my YouTube stories or even my Instagram stories, I talked about this briefly, but I don't think it affected the sound. So these things are just loud. But I noticed the more oil or cool care you use, the louder it gets, because I noticed one day I turned it on where first time turning it on for the day, and it was just fine. So maybe it's just, if you put too much cool care on there, it'll sound a little bit louder, which I actually just sprayed these down after my client recently. Maybe that's just what it is. One thing I do like is that it does cut clean lines. So if you trying to edge someone, it will leave a nice clean line. Now, that might have something to do with the blade. Now, as you can see, this blade is pretty thin. You can see that, very thin, a lot thinner than the regular T-outliner blade, which means it leaves a very clean and distinct line. It's almost like a razor line almost, where it's really sharp, which is good, and that's what you look for in a trimmer. And that's one thing that I do like about this trimmer. And of course, another thing I like about this thing is it's cordless, the fact that it's cordless. The weight on it is pretty heavy, has nice and sturdy. It's cordless, can't beat it, right? Because it poses the ultimate question. Can this replace your T-outliner? Can you put your T-outliners away in replacement of this? Now, this is really the one question and the one factor of this entire video, the most important part of it. Can you put your T-outliners down? Yes and no. Yes, meaning it does hit just as well as a T-outliner. Yes, it does create a good sharp line, just like a T-outliner. But is it better than a T-outliner? In my opinion, no, it's not better than a T-outliner. Could you put your T-outliners away? Yes, I have put mine away, and I've solely been using this for the past few weeks. I have noticed some things that I have to do a little bit extra work with these rather than, you know, me using my T-outliners, because my T-outliners, I can put it in there and the line is defined, crisp right away. I don't have to go back over it like I do with these. I've noticed certain areas I would have to go back over like 2 to 3 times, which of course is gonna create just a little bit extra work for you. And in my opinion, is this a cop? My original opinion was this was a major cop, major cop. Now my opinion on this thing is, if you have the T-outliners and yours hit really well, stick with it. If that's your only cord left, like in the case of me, stick with it. If you have the Gold FX and those things work out for you well and you like the way your Gold FXs hit, stick with your Gold FXs. I don't recommend that you go out and buy this or really even spend extra money to purchase this trimmer, because I'm gonna be honest, the way this thing performed, if this thing was better than the Gold FX, then the Gold FX sucks. But a good trimmer nonetheless. If you're looking to get a cordless trimmer to possibly replace a T-outliner, or possibly just have a full cordless lineup and have a good trimmer to boot. Now, of course, this has a T-blade like you saw. Of course, I'm still gonna have my slim lines, because these things, I'm gonna be honest, they're undefeated. And of course it's good because you have that blade. The blade there on the slim line is a lot smaller than there, and on kids you can get into that box without taking off their eyebrow. So that's my opinion on this. I'll try to leave some links in the description below where you guys can purchase this trimmer if it's on Amazon yet. I know the Gold FX is, but leave a like if you like it, share if you care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. It's been your man I Do It signing out. I'll holla.